most people would say, well, why would you do that to a four-door?
There's nothing wrong with it.
You know, it's kind of cool. This one belongs to Apolo Ohno.
That's pretty cool.
The guy's just got a lot of style, a lot of class. And that's a great way to describe this car.
Hi, I'm Dennis Gage, and welcome to My Classic Car. Well, this week we're in Salt Lake City, Utah, to visit a good friend and a great designer, Dave Kindig.
That's me.
Now, I've run into Dave over the years at a lot of shows, and he always brings something really special. But there's usually a lot going on, and I can't spend the time that those cars deserve. So I thought I'd fix that by coming out here and taking a hard look at a couple really spectacular creations. Check these babies out. Life is good.
It's very good.
Well, Dave, great to see you again, man.
You too, Dennis.
So
Great to see you.
It was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, I think, that I first met you at the Lehigh Valley show here in Utah, and you had that killer 37 Chevy.
Yeah, Mike S's 37 Caballo Rosa.
That was such a beautiful car. It stopped me in my tracks. And then I was back there just this last spring and ran into you again, and you had this baby. And I said, you know, we're gonna do something serious here. So we're here to do something serious.
Well, this is a pretty serious car right here. This one belongs to Apolo Ohno.
What, the most decorated Winter Olympian in history, right?
Correct.
What, eight medals?
Yep, correct.
Well, you know, I mean, a 64 is a beautiful car, but was it like, give me a early 60s Caddy, you know, or was it like, I want a 64?
You know what, he was very specific, and actually he brought the car to us. A friend of his found it out of Oklahoma City, and specifically a 63 would not do, and a 65 was just too new.
So that is pretty
always the
specific.
64 was just the car that he wanted. He loves everything about the front face,
Yeah.
the body lines down the side, the tail fins.
One of the things, when I saw it, I said, oh yeah, and wide whites look so good on this car, man. That's really nice. And I went, wait a minute, those aren't really wide white wall tires.
There's a bit of a trick behind that. So I designed up the hubcap styled wheel, but then I realized I had to be at least a 20-inch wheel,
Yeah.
but then I would only have half the profile in a modified tire to do a wide white.
So to solve that,
To solve that, I did a 22-inch wheel. The wide white is actually part of the rim. This is a 22. From the outward appearance, it looks like about an 18-inch wheel with a wide white and a big fat tire, but that's actually a 265/35 22 Pirelli on this thing.
I mean, that is so cool, because
Thank you.
you talk about a trick, you talk about a visual trick, and that's what got me, because I couldn't figure it out for the longest time, and I tapped on it, ting, ting, ting. It's like,
Exactly.
that's really a slick
Thank you.
touch. I like
Thank
that
you.
a lot. And then the door handles just look so nice on this car, because it does, you have the feeling of the image of the button there.
It gives the entire impression that the thing is sticking off of the car still, but basically by putting your finger into it, it pops out and just opens up nice and slick and springs back
Closes
into
again.
place.
Like a Cadillac shirt, right?
Exactly.
And then
Exactly.
you've certainly, done some stuff in here. First of all, it's very white.
It is very, very white.
Very,
This
very
is
white.
snow white leather.
And the Olympic rings.
The Olympic rings. We really wanted to stay with something that was clean and classic, but it was very telltale and tailored to an Olympian.
Again, like I say, it's subtle, but it's just really nice. And you got the rings back here too. I think that's a nice touch. But it's 64. I do really like this fin and taillight setup. I mean, that
I
is
have to
really
agree.
cool.
I have to agree. I think that it was actually a little bit ahead of its time, and by doing the clear lenses with red bulbs and housings behind it, it was kind of cool, because what they were trying to do is still create that big, chunky chrome Cadillac-esque
Right.
bumper. And so by doing the clear lenses through that opening of the bumper with just a very small red reflector in there, I mean, it looks like this bumper could really go into the next neighborhood. I mean, it's just huge.
It almost does. And then you tricked out the trunk, and those are the amps, the kickers on either side with
Correct.
some Apollo airbrush on it.
Yeah, so we had a friend of ours up in Canada, Ron Gibbs. He's a great airbrush artist, and we had him do these amplifier covers with some more of the famous pictures of Apollo. And then we also there's a white LED light pan in there. That's actually the trunk light.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, again, so clean, so bright. And I got to believe it looks as great under the hood as it does everywhere else.
Oh.
And probably something very special there.
There is a lot of special stuff
Let's
up
go
there.
look at that.
Sounds great.
Wow. Now that is slick.
So we did a couple more modifications on the inside of this to really kind of just smooth it up and trick it out. One very notable thing is obviously the mural. This is when he had won his 8th medal.
Uh-huh.
I think it's really kind of a cool piece.
And then the whole induction system there, Is that your creation?
Well,
or?
actually, what it is, this is just a simple Ramjet 502 crate motor, and so what we've done is Ryan had fabricated up this cover, and it just simply
Oh, wow.
pulls off, and you can get to
Check
all
that
of the
out.
running gear,
How slick, man.
and then you simply just put it back on and
That is,
just snaps back into place.
that's pretty trick. I mean, that completely changes the look of it.
It really does. And then the valve covers we custom built. You know, I engraved in the base of that aluminum piece there with just an engraver, just basically scribbled it around to kind of give like a gold nugget kind of a feel.
I like
Zero
that.
Regrets is the name of Apollo's book, and that was kind of the theme of this whole car, is, you know, kind of on his philosophy of how he's lived his life, which I kind of, you know, I really get a kick out of, because that's kind of the same way I've done it. I just
Can't
go
beat
for it.
Yeah.
And so we did the Zero Regrets logos in this for him, and
When all of this,
that's another pretty
that's
trick piece.
beautiful.
So underneath all of this sculpted metal that's one piece, there's 2 pins in the back that hold it in and 2 bolts under, or just above both wheels. And that whole panel just slides in and covers up the original fender liners, which have all of the electronics hidden on top of them, all of the heating and air conditioning hoses. And it basically just kind of cleans up and gives this just a much smoother look.
Well, she just is one beautiful machine. But everything you build is, I mean, you build everything to ride and drive.
That's kind of the idea. I mean, some of them are really nice, but they really should be driven.
So this is a ride and driving Caddy.
This is very much a drivable Caddy.
What do you say we drive it?
Why don't you say you drive it?
I say let's go with that.
All right,
Close
sounds
that baby
great.
up, Dave. Right, here we go. Ooh,
Feel the rumble.
feel the rumble. That's pretty muscly sounding for a Caddy.
You're right.
Yeah, that's quite a throaty sound. What do you have for exhaust?
Got 4 Flowmaster hush powers on it, and then 2 high flow cats, and of course a set of headers.
And of course. So when Apollo gets this is just going to be his toy?
Something to just go cruising, pick up chicks.
It would definitely work for that, I tell you. Love the color. And you refer to it as a black cherry? Or?
That's what he asked for, was a black cherry, and I did a little bit of research. In 2010, Jaguar Caviar is the color,
Oh yeah?
and it was just a great color.
This whole interior is just so clean.
Thank you. Yeah, clean and classy. That's a great way to describe Apollo, and it's a great way to describe this car.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't want a black interior.
Yeah, really. Jeez. Man, the rings are such a nice touch.
It's got a tinted lens over the top to darken it so that you can't see all of the lettering and stuff for the water temp and all that stuff for the shows. We'll actually change that out to a clear one when he goes to just drive it.
It's sort of a night thing. And you built this so she can ride pretty low too.
Yeah, we built it to where it would ride pretty low. You know, on a nice straight road, you can get it down a bit, and we went overboard on the car, so to speak. Just rides nice though. You're riding on air like a Cadillac should. But a nice sunny day, and
Yeah, there's nothing like that. I mean, cruising in a convertible and then a Caddy convertible. Life is good.
it's very good.
Well, this is really smooth, very Caddy-like, you know, and rumble along with the 502. But Bel is probably going to be pretty nice. Stroker 383 and a little bit back in time from an age standpoint, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a pleasure to drive that one too.
Well, then let's do that.
Okay.
Man, that is one sweet Caddy.
Drives like a dream,
and
doesn't
then
it?
some. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. And now for something completely different. That would be this baby. It takes a lot of balls to do this. I mean, this is a 4-door post 60 Bel Air. That was not the prettiest car ever built.
No, it's actually the lowest end car I think that Chevrolet produced in 1960 with the least bells and whistles. You know, roll up window, lack of trim, posts, 4-door. It's a car that's always been kind of looked over.
Yeah.
Everybody always looked for a cherry one of these to take a good front clip off and put on an El Camino or an Impala.
Right,
and,
convertible or a two-door hardtop or something, but 4-door post, who would do that?
We would.
You would. Exactly. And you would do one heck of a job. This baby is really stunning. I mean, I just think is such a wild looking car. And you didn't really change the basic shape of the car. You didn't even change the roof line. And that's a wild roof line. It's almost bulbous, you know, but you left it the way she came.
Yeah. We didn't want to make a spaceship out of a 60 Bel Air. And so we kept it very classic on the outside. All of the original trim is back on the car. We didn't chop it. What really kind of sets this car off is the light blue, which is a custom color.
Yeah.
We call it Bella Berry Blue.
Bella Berry Blue.
It's a mouthful.
What I think is just fabulous is the way you split the color here right through the Chevrolet script. It brings the blue around front, but then you got this, you know, this gorgeous white there, and there's a lot of pearl in both of these, isn't there?
I'm going to paint one of my own cars one day this color because I just absolutely love the color. It's not something you see very often.
And then you use this deep red pinstripe, which is actually flanked on either side by black. Then you pick up the body line and just cruise down the side. And then pretty wild looking wheels too, you know.
They're Billet Specialty stilettos out of their profile collection. The fronts are 20-inch and the rears are 22-inch.
But I love the interior. Not only the dash, the upholstery gleams.
The cool thing about the upholstery on this car, this is a leather headliner.
Yeah.
These are the last 6 hides in existence of the 1998 968 Porsche.
Oh, wow.
This was Porsche Pearl White leather. There was only 6 hides left. We figured we needed 7. Luckily, they were big cows. And then also we did the white carbon fiber impression inserts on the inside because, again, very telltale of the original cars. They would usually have some type of a textile as well as a color to break up the interior.
And of course that great 60 dash, 5960 both are just
iconic.
Unbelievable dash. She's just beautiful.
Thank you. That's why they call her Bella.
And then you come back here, it's a Bel Air, you only have the 2 taillights, but gosh, you know, it looks good.
Thank you.
I think one of the best things about this is what's under the hood, because again, it's the artistry of the whole thing just carried through. Let's go look at that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, now, see, that's just gorgeous. That's that's art. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Bella.
It's a small block 383 stroker, 700 R4 behind it, but we've used First Strike's kit to install a C4 Corvette suspension, which would be like a 96 Corvette. All aluminum A-arms, upper and lower control arms.
What an air cleaner.
Thank you.
Where did you come up with that?
Well, we came up with it because we were really short on room because the motor and the car sitting down so low and the motor sitting up so much higher. Basically, what that is, it's an exhaust U-bend.
Oh,
Just a low carbon steel exhaust U-bend. Basically, what we did is we just cut the center of it out, slid this forward, built it back in, and closed it. These are a tractor application K&N filter, and then we just machined up some bullets to put at the end, which just screw on and hold the filters in place.
Really, really sweet. Well, she's a beautiful car, but she's not just a show pony here either. She drives, right?
That's correct.
Let's drive it.
Sounds great.
All right. Pump it?
Yeah,
Or floor
pump it twice. And just go ahead and floor it. Ooh, baby.
Vroom. And away we go.
Away we go.
This is a little more aggressive than the Caddy.
It almost feels that way, isn't it?
Yeah, she feels like she wants to go, actually.
I need to put her on a diet, though. She takes up a whole lane, you know.
You're obviously not afraid to take risks. I mean, 4-doors are so rarely chosen.
Kind of like you, somebody was surprised that why would somebody go through all that trouble to build a 4-door, and then they was like, you know, it's kind of cool. I always look at a car, any kind of car, that it has the potential of being the coolest car you're going to see at the show. It just depends on what it is that you do with it. And I think sometimes, even if it is a 4-door, that most people would say, well, why would you do that to a 4-door? Why would you even bother? Once they see the car, you know, if you hear about it, it's one thing. Once you see it, it's like going, that is so cool.
Yeah,
I never even thought of it.
And I think 4-doors are overlooked an awful lot for that reason and shouldn't be.
No, I have to agree.
There's nothing wrong with it. Well, an interesting steering wheel, because of course these have these massive, thin.
Uh-huh.
This is, you know, this little tight little thing here.
Yeah, the steering wheel has got the white carbon fiber leather on top. It's got the white pearl white Porsche leather on the bottom side. And it's just a nice combination. It basically ties it in with the entire interior.
Well, it's just another one of those really, really subtle touches that you do.
Thank you.
And I like the digital gauges on it. I think that works out pretty nice.
It's a really nice setup. You can see them really well and that. And this is, you know, it's basically designed just to go right into the stock housings.
You didn't really modify this dash too much, did you? I mean, it's the 60 dash is so cool to begin with, the pods anyway.
It's really cool, but it didn't originally come with this.
No, probably not. Yeah, that's
our 7-inch monitor, basically, to run the home theater system, which is really the safest thing to ever do when you're driving a car with almost 450 horsepower.
Yeah.
Or you have to have a genius for a co-pilot. That's me.
Don't believe it.
We want to try and keep everything clean and smooth and classic.
So until our next meeting, remember, honor the timeless classics. I'm Dennis Gage. Happy motoring.